Just got this in. This is the MJX Bugs 2W. It is a brushless, Wi-Fi-based FPV drone with a GPS for under $200. It delivers the video back to your smartphone, which is mounted here in this controller. It features telemetry, it features return to home, and some other features that we're gonna go ahead and get started testing. Every time you plug in the battery on this model, you have to do the compass calibration. So I want you guys to be able to see the lights when we do the calibration. So I'm gonna go in the shade. So let's get the battery plugged in. There you go. So now you wanna turn on the controller and we wanna put the bugs on a completely flat surface. We're gonna listen for 2 beeps from the controller. And there's the 2 beeps. Now that means you are ready to do your compass calibration. Before you start the compass calibration, I would recommend you take any jewelry you have on your hand, any metal that you might have on your fingers that could interfere with your compass calibration process. Notice the lights here. They're yellow blinking lights at the moment. That indicates that you now need to do the horizontal calibration. So to do that, you want to turn it clockwise. Okay, so now the LEDs have changed from yellow to green. That means you're ready to do the compass calibration vertically. So they say you have to point it up, but it doesn't really matter which way you do it. You can have the camera pointing down, and now you can start turning it clockwise. And here you go. So once all the lights go solid, as you can see, the two in the front are solid red, these are green, your compass calibration is complete and you are ready to fly. All right, with the compass calibrated and ready to go, now we can connect up to the Bugs 2 app on the phone, connect to the MJX Bugs 2 network. You should see it, should say Bugs, MJX, and some letters. So we can enter into Bugs Go, and now I've got it running. And I can see the camera and the FPV view I have. Just a quick overview of the controller. Here is our height and our distance in meters. This is the number of satellites I have. It's been sitting for a while, so we've got 15 satellites. Would not recommend taking off unless you had about at least 8 satellites. We can unlock the motors by pressing this button and get ourselves in the air, and we are gonna do that right now. Let's do the 1-key launch, and it'll launch itself. And there it is. There's the Bugs 2W. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start the recording right now, holding down this button. And there's our recording. All right, so we're gonna take off now. Well, the first thing I would want to know if I was buying this is how far can you go out and how high can you go and still maintain video. So that's what I'm going to show you today. So let's see. We're going out here. Distance is about 20 meters right now. I want to give it some height because I don't want to hit these trees. And I'm going to just go out there real quick and see what we've got. All right, so I'm starting to get some lag around 60 meters, but the video is still being maintained. I'm at the 100-meter mark almost. Yep, we're at past 100 meters now, and still have video from this point. All right, so at 150 meters, I'm really starting to have trouble with the video. So I don't want to push it. So I would say that at best, you're gonna get about, I don't know, 100, 120 meters, 140 meters if you're lucky, depending on what's in your area. You know, this is not a very heavily congested area. I'm gonna turn around here. Our video's actually doing all right here right now, but again, I'm getting a lot of lag and I really don't want to push it. So I'm going to bring the Bugs 2 back. We have some wind. Alright, so it's right up there. Alright, so now that the Bugs is back, what I want to do next is I'll show you how high you can go and still maintain a signal. As we're sitting from right here, I'm going to go ahead and wave, and here we go. We've got 31 meters right now, 53 meters, 73 meters, 80 meters, 84 meters, 88 meters, 111 meters, 114 meters. Sure enough, we're starting to struggle at 127 meters. Let's just do a soft pan here of the whole area. I am maintaining the video even though it's lagging here and there. I have not completely lost it. Oh, there it kind of froze up doing that pan. So yeah, about 120 meters height is when your video starts to go, unfortunately. So let me go ahead and start bringing it down. Figure I'll take this time to talk about the video as we come down here. You're looking at a construction site back out in the distance out there, by the way. They're building a whole new shopping mall out here. So the video, I would say, is kind of washed out. It's definitely not the greatest camera in the world. It's not for serious photography. But again, this is a drone for under $200, so you really need to give it some leeway. It does render in 1080p when I check the video specifications of the file, but I would have to say that the actual video looks like it's upscaled 720p. That's just my opinion based on the quality of the video. As far as the quadcopter, it's smooth. It's a smooth flying drone. And it does hold its position very well with respect to the GPS. You can see it's very, very stable. So yeah, you're not going to be doing any professional camera jobs with this, but you have to consider the price. Alright, so I'm going to do a return to home test. With the return to home, you really have to be careful because the return to home altitude is limited to 15 meters. That is not enough to get above some of the trees, even just that are out here. So I'm going to hit this return to home button, and we're going to watch the Bugs return to its where it should be. Alright, it keeps its altitude where it is, and then we can just decide to land in place. So it's actually quite a bit off from where it should be. Let's do another launch from the pad. Unlock the motors. Send it out. Let's just try sending it all the way out there. Again, I want to be careful Return to home. So the return to home accuracy is not necessarily the greatest, but it's within reason. Let's discuss some of the modes and the options on the controller. So this button here is the headless mode, and it does work very well. I've had no problems with that. This button here disables the GPS, but it does not do anything for the speed. Your speed is the exact same as it would be if you were in the GPS mode. It will just let you fly in case there's an issue with the GPS. And that's it for the battery. That is our battery warning. So that's my review of the MJX Bugs 2W. Overall, I think the quadcopter itself is great. I think it flies wonderfully. The GPS works superb. The camera is definitely not the best in the world, and the VTX inside that transmits to the phone is rather weak. So as long as you buy this understanding that, that's fine. There's certainly room to, say, probably strap a small camera to the bottom here, and that might be something I'll experiment with in the future. If you have the battery from the Bugs 3, you can actually use it. You're going to have to find a way to hold the battery in, either maybe with a rubber band or something of that nature. But yeah, the battery of the Bugs 3 is the exact same spec as the Bugs 2W or the 2C. Speaking of the 2C is actually cheaper than this. It's just above $100 rather than being just below $200 like this one is. So if you don't want the Wi-Fi FPV and you're willing to accept a little bit less of a quality camera on it, then you can get the Bugs 2C, and it is virtually the same quadcopter besides those two things. The only thing to point out is that the Bugs 2W does have these metal motors, which is just like the Bugs 3, very similar. Not quite the same motor, but the same kind of design, whereas the 2C has the plastic motors. It really might benefit you to go ahead and get the 2C rather than the 2W if you're not interested in the whole Wi-Fi based phone experience and want to save some money. Otherwise, if you want to be able to see what you're doing, get the 2W and just keep it within 100 meters or 300 feet or so. All right, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the review and have a great day. As always, let me know if you have any questions. Leave me a message in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time.